Okay, so I'm back on the Alpine 7273L, and I've had this thing running in my storage room for days and days, literally probably 5 or 6 days non-stop, just playing the radio. And after pulling this module and soldering the connections that were underneath it right back here, you can just barely see the tips of them sticking up right there. Left channel has never cut out, and it's been playing perfectly. And I did contact the customer and show him the video, the first part, and he expressed a little interest in the cassette mechanism, not auto-reversing. Well, to be honest, I haven't auto-reversed the unit. I've manually reversed it, so I do need to test, because he was concerned that the belt that he replaced might have been just a tiny bit too loose, and I got thinking about it. And yes, if the mechanism came to the end of the tape, and the take-up stopped and the capstan had a much heavier load, it may not have the torque required to execute the auto-reverse portion once the solenoid engages. So what I'm going to do is power this thing on. Power has been applied, and you can hear audio. That's the left channel only. And let's see, I got to pull this out. Here we are. And okay, there's both channels. So let's go ahead and pop a tape into it. Okay, so that's a tape that's actually playing. So I'm just going to let this play to the end. I'll probably end up reversing the tape and then fast forwarding to the end here. So let's see, how do we... Where are the freaking... There it is. So we'll go rewind, and we'll take it to the beginning on this side right here, as this is the full spool right there. So we'll give it just a moment to finish, and then we'll change the direction after it plays for a moment and see. Okay, there it reached the end, and it is playing. So we'll let it come on to a little bit of audio, and then I'm just going to reverse it and see if it does indeed auto-reverse. Okay, there is audio. So program, we'll hit that button right there and let it run in the opposite direction. Leader's going through right now. I can hear it. There, it stopped. And it did auto-reverse, no problem. Okay, so I'm going to eject the tape and then reinsert it in this direction. Okay, there it is playing that way. I don't know. Oh, okay, something's going on. It will not play in the opposite direction right now. And you know why that is? And I'll show you. Let me zoom in on it real fast. Get it centered up here. One moment while I activate macro zoom. Okay, I am zoomed in right there. And as you can see, the tape is actually on the wrong side of the capstan. I don't know if I can get a light. You can kind of see it. It's on the back side. It should be on the front side. That's why it won't auto-reverse. No fault of the mechanism. It's a fault of the guy who put the tape in. It's on the wrong side. So I'm just going to eject it. And I'm going to just take up. You can actually see it in the center. It's offset. So I'm going to take up the slack and then reinsert it. And you can see it is on the correct side this time. So I'm going to hit auto reverse. And the pinch roller did engage, and the tape is running in the opposite direction. Let's go ahead and zoom out, and we'll get ready for the auto reverse in the opposite direction. Might be a moment because I had this running while I was enabling the zoom. Okay, and here goes the leader through. And it reversed with no problem at all. So I'm going to put this back in the other room, let it cook for a while longer, And I'm going to just let it play this tape through multiple times and make sure that we don't have any issues in the auto reverse portion of this unit. Both channels working perfectly. It sounds great. Well, once again, one moment. We're going to come back to this after some time has elapsed. Okay, remember from part one, when we saw the list that the customer had, he talked about resoldering those pins, and the number two problem was it went into the auto reverse loop. Well, I haven't seen that, and I've been playing this for over 24 hours at this point, as you can see from the time lapse of the tape playing. That was only like 2 hours. And the third thing he wanted to know is if I can take a look at the DIN outputs. When you do, please also test the DIN outputs to ensure it works well. So let's go ahead and test that. I'm just going to hook up the outputs to my stereo receiver, and we should be good there. And luckily, he provided a pinout of the DIN connector, which is this one right here. So we've got a remote pause, which we don't care about, and a remote on, which we do not care about. We care about signal ground, right, and left. And conveniently, signal ground is pin number 2, and then right is pin number 4, and left is pin number 5. So I don't know if this is looking at the connector or at the plug, as the case may be. But it doesn't matter. All I care about is 4, 5, and 2. So let's go ahead and connect this up to a stereo receiver. We'll put some audio into it and see if we get audio out of it into the stereo receiver. One moment. Okay, here's the unit playing. I've got audio out of both speakers. So what I'm going to do is turn the volume up. I've only got speakers connected to the front. And so then I'm going to move the fader to the back, which actually doesn't quite cut off everything. Probably got a dirty pot. Anyhow, I think that's good enough for our test. So here's the input to my stereo receiver right here, and I do have a 0.1 microfarad 400 volt cap, a 104. And so my ground is connected to ground of my RCA input jack on my input. And so we're just going to touch pin 1, or excuse me, I think this is pin 4. And you can hear I get audio there. And pin 5. And they sound perfect. Nothing wrong there at all. So pretty happy with that. I think we're going to be okay on the DIN output as the customer asked. The last thing I need to do is solder this wire to the back chassis, and then I believe this thing will be ready to go. One moment. Well, I don't know how this is going to show up, and I don't know how this is going to work, but I have turned off the 12 volt power supply, and I have the unit tipped up very slightly so you can see it. I've got my soldering iron up to 800 degrees, which is typically what I use anyhow, and I'm just going to try to flow some solder on the back chassis right here, which is probably going to have to heat up for just a moment because it's a heat dissipation area basically. And I'm pretty sure this is where it may have been soldered to in the beginning because I don't see it really going anywhere else. It's starting to take. It's got to get hot enough. All right, I think there may be enough there. I just got to try to position this. Let's add some fresh solder to it. And then try to walk it in. And we'll just pull it away and let it cool for a moment. Everything's good there. I did see that piece fall in. I will flip it upside down in one moment. But while I'm here, I did notice a crack right here that I want to go ahead and touch up. Okay, I like that much better. Okay, let's throw the top and the bottom back on it and give it a final test and get it ready to ship back. I was just doing a quick look around on the board, and I thought that was a crack on that second resistor up right there. But I think it's just a piece of hair. Nope, everything's good. All right, it's all back together, top and bottom. And there's the bottom sticker on it. I'm not quite sure what this sticker is. Almost looks Russian, but I'm not sure. There's the original model and, well, serial number somewhere, maybe. I don't see it. And yes, I did find the little speck of solder that I dropped in there. There it is, right there. Okay, one last test. Make sure nothing is shorting to nothing else. Power, speakers back here. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. 12 volts on the power supply. Radio on. Hear the power supply fan come up. And I do get sound. Let's put some copyright-free audio into it. There is the tape playing. We'll reverse it for a moment. And that is playing perfectly. That's going to be it, the Alpine 7273L. Now, we did mention something about an optical sensor on the front of this that would turn off the buttons. So let's go ahead and shut off the lights and see if the lights on the buttons, there they go, they work. There, they just went off and they came back on. That's pretty awesome. All right, that is going to be it. No left channel, and testing the tape for hours and hours and hours on end. But nice little unit from the mid-'80s. I can't believe it, with Dolby B and C noise reduction. C was, but yeah, there you go. Everybody, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave me a question, a comment, a concern down below, good or bad. I'll try to respond when I have time. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button and like this video. It does help my channel grow. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X at NorCal715. You can email me, norcal715videos@gmail.com. As of right now, still, if you want to contact me, please just leave me a comment in one of the videos. I did answer a couple Facebook questions the other day, and I'm trying to get caught up on emails. And it's just the way it is. Remember, with your help, we can try to keep these things out of the landfill, out of the recycle bin, and out of the e-waste facility. Everybody, thank you for making it to the end of this two-parter. Only a two-parter. How nice. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. All right, let's try that again without pausing it.